More evidence. In Mendel's second experiment, he allowed the first-generation plants to self-pollinate. Figure 8 shows a self-pollination cross of a first-generation plant with the genotype big P little p. The parental alleles in the cross indicate that the egg and sperm can contain either a big P allele or a little p allele. What might the genotypes of the offspring be? Notice that one square shows the big P little p combination, while another shows the little p big P combination. These are exactly the same genotype, even though the letters are written in a different order. The other possible genotypes for the offspring are big P and little p little p. The combinations big P, big P little p, and little p big P have the same phenotype, purple flowers, because they each contain at least one dominant allele, the big P. Only one combination, little p, produces plants with white flowers. The ratio of dominant to recessive is 3:1, just as Mendel calculated from his data. What are the chances? It's important to understand that offspring are equally likely to inherit either allele from either parent. Think of a coin toss. There's a 50% chance you'll get heads and a 50% chance you'll get tails. Like the toss of a coin, the chance of inheriting one allele or another is completely random. Probability. The mathematical chance that an event will occur is known as probability. Probability is usually expressed as a fraction or percentage. If you toss a coin, the probability of tossing tails is 1 out of 2. This means that half the number of times you toss a coin, you will get tails. To express probability as a percentage, divide the numerator of the fraction by the denominator and then multiply the answer by 100. 1/2 times 100 equals 50%. To find the probability that you will toss 2 heads in a row, multiply the probability of the 2 events. 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1/4. The percentage would be 1 divided by 4 times 100, which equals 25%. Apply. Curly-eared cats. A curly-eared cat like the one at right mated with a cat that had normal ears. If half the kittens had the genotype big C little c and curly ears, and the other half had the genotype little c and normal ears, which was the allele for curly ears? What was the genotype for each parent? Hint, use a Punnett square to fill in the genotypes of the offspring and then work backward. Genotype probability. The same method is used to calculate the probability that an offspring will inherit a certain genotype. For a pea plant to inherit the white flower trait, it must receive a little p allele from each parent. There is a 50% chance of inheriting either allele from either parent, so the probability of inheriting 2 little p alleles from a big P little p by big P little p cross is 1/2 times 1/2. This equals 1/4 or 25%. Gregor Mendel, gone but not forgotten. Good ideas are often overlooked or misunderstood when they first appear. This was the fate of Gregor Mendel's ideas. In 1865, he published his findings for the scientific community. Unfortunately, his work didn't get much attention. It wasn't until after his death, more than 30 years later, that Mendel finally got the recognition he deserved. Once Mendel's ideas were rediscovered and understood, the door was open to modern genetics.